Hi everyone, good morning. My name's Olivia and welcome to our webinar this morning, Major Trends at Decor and Design 2019. I'm really excited to go through this session with you guys today. This webinar is a Houzz hosted webinar in partnership with Decor and Design. So we are going to be covering all the major and micro trends to look out for at Decor and Design in Melbourne, which is in July this year. So thank you all for joining. This is our agenda for this morning. So during today's webinar, we're going to discuss Houzz and Decor and Design. I'm just going to introduce or reintroduce Houzz for you and chat briefly about our partnership with Decor and Design. I'm going to show you some of the trends and themes that we're seeing on Houzz and how trade shows like Decor and Design have influenced these trends. And then I'm going to dive into the major and micro trends to look out for this year at Decor and Design. We are recording today's session, so don't worry if you miss out on anything in your note-taking. The recording will be sent across to you via email after our session. You can also send any questions or feedback that you have about this session in the chat box or the questions box, which is on the right-hand side of your screen. I'll be able to answer those questions at the end of this session, so I will stay online at the end to answer any questions that you've left for me there. So if you are attending this webinar, you probably already know a little bit about Houzz, but for anyone who's new here, this is just a little bit about our site. So Houzz is the leading platform for home renovation and design. We provide everything that homeowners need to improve their homes from start to finish, online or from a mobile device. We're a vibrant community and the easiest way for renovators and homeowners to find the right professional they need and to find some amazing design inspiration, project advice, product information, and just really help turn designs ideas into a reality. So it was founded by husband and wife team Adi and Alon in 2019, who were in the midst of their own renovation, and during which they just really struggled to find all the inspiration and information and even professionals that they really needed. So they yearned for a one-stop shop, a one place where they could find and store all of their ideas and the information. So from there, Houzz was born, and since it's grown to have 5 really distinct layers, and they're tied together with really smart, innovative technology, and it just makes Houzz an end-to-end solution for home design and renovation. So we have photos, stories, advice, professionals, and products. And the 5 layers just really provide an integrated experience for our consumers. We are a global community. We have 40 million monthly users worldwide, 2.3 million professionals, and over 18 million images to browse. And in 2016, we were awarded Best App at the inaugural Google Play Awards, and today we have more than 500,000 reviews. So this is the 4th year in a row now that we've partnered with Decor and Design, which is so fantastic. We love our partnership with them. This year, as well as hosting this webinar, we'll have a stand at the show, which is at K3. That's our stand number. And we've partnered again for the Houzz Vivid People's Choice Awards. So following this session, I'll send around a booking link to you guys so you can book a time with the team at the stand if you're going to the show this year. So what our Houzz data shows us, so this is including trends and themes, many of which that are influenced by trade shows such as Decor and Design. So homeowner trends in Australia show that kitchens are still the most popular room to renovate, but only by a small margin. It's followed closely by living rooms and bedrooms. A lot of these kind of designs you're going to see at Decor and Design this year. Given we spend so much time in both of these rooms, it's no surprise that we want to create a well-designed space that's uniquely our own. And thanks to the inspiration that we get from designers and trade shows, we're seeing new designs included in more and more homes these days. Another trend that we're seeing on Houzz is just designed rather than afterthought secondary spaces. Joiners and cabinet makers have really redefined storage solutions by creating truly bespoke places that are tailored to our lives. So we expect that many of the cabinets and furniture that you're going to see at the show this year will be textured and have a really strong stylistic signature. And lastly, and something that I'll delve into a little bit deeper through the webinar, is just a focus on wellness in interiors this year through tactile natural materials, soothing colour palettes, fuss-free furniture arrangements, and nature as well, including indoor plants and raw materials. Okay, so now for the fun part. I'm going to dive into the major and micro trends to look out for at the show this year. I'm going to cover some of the biggest trends that we're seeing or that you will see, and then tips on how you can incorporate them into your home or your client's home. All the trends have come from our local and international editors. You can find our trend reports from our editorial team under the story section. So to the left, you can see trending now, and that's where all of our trending reports are. So calming colour palettes. So rather than the omnipresent naturals such as white, grey and beige, look for muted shades of blues and greens and dusty pinks to create an oasis of calm. This palette to the left with its layers of pinks and corals, which was actually Pantone's colour of the year this year, shows that you can create an inviting space with pops of colour. And in contrast to these lighter colours, we're also going to see good doses of dark, saturated tones like Bordeaux, peacock blue and charcoal, which we see more of to the right. Both of these palettes are really soft and will still evoke a sense of serenity and calm in the home, despite that they're two different shades. So sustainability. So we have been seeing a growing trend of sustainability in Scandinavian design for a few years now. And of course, natural wood and simplicity are classic features of Nordic design. But this year it seems that all this talk is really turned into action. So one of the most obvious paths of sustainable design is making furniture that really lasts long into the future, both aesthetically and physically. The other aspect, of course, is sourcing sustainable or recycled materials, and having a sustainable production line is a growing trend as well. Rather than just the materials, is also creating the products with a sustainable production. So the design on the left is actually used discarded wood or offcuts to create the mirror. And to the right, this design gave new life to timber that was used from docks of a handful of old ferry ports. So both completely different and still beautiful at the same time. So curves. In 2019, sharp, minimalist lines in sofas and armchairs have been replaced with soft, soothing lines and furniture shapes that actually follow the curves of the body. So expect to find curves in unexpected places too, like dressers and cabinets, creating something of a mid-century vibe, which is a fresh trend that was sort of begun to see on Houzz as well. Rooms can have a curvy vibe without breaking the bank. So affordable, chunky, knotted cushions, for example, you can place them on the sofa or armchair, or you could add a trio of rounded accessories in concrete or terrazzo, which are both very on-trend materials at the moment as well. And these are just simple ways that you can integrate curves into your home without breaking the bank. So tributes to the past. The influence of the past is quite big. Design won't stop looking backwards in search of inspiration. So particularly Art Deco style and designs from the 1950s is felt really strongly this year. So appearing on wallpaper, armchairs, sideboards and other storage units. Velvet is also the it material for another year, so you can expect to see it a lot at the show. And as I've put in the slide there, you can see technological advancements to the creation of polyester velvet means that it's actually more wear resistant than traditional velvet. So you should be able to see quite a bit of that at the show as well. Graphic luxury. So this is a sort of similar theme. It's inspired by decor of the 70s and the 30s. So again, not this era, but incorporates luxurious objects and materials such as marble, brass and velvet. So our editors have seen many objects and motifs that will likely become favourites this year. Lighting that resembles jewellery with its brass structures, polyester fringes, sculpted mirrors, semicircles, geometric and peacock feathered patterns, black metal, folding screens and many others. So these kind of luxurious yet abstract motifs and objects of the home is probably something you can expect to see quite a bit of at the show this year. And even though they're abstract, we are finding new ways to integrate them in the home so that they blend really nicely with other features in the room. So green. So you probably are aware that 2018 was very much the year of the indoor plant. Everyone was really obsessed with them. So it's little surprise that green is set to come to the fore in 2019. So they'll range from soft, chalky grey greens through to rich forest shades, all of which bring a touch of soothing nature indoors. It provides a wonderful backdrop for accents of brights too, such as on-trend coral and watermelon, which you can see they've done in the pictures. And you can still finish the look off with a medley of lush green indoor plants as well. So even though there's a lot of green, it actually complements each other really well, having the plants and a green backdrop as well. And the plants obviously have air purifying abilities. So it's just going to create a really healthy and natural, clean environment in your home as well. So this is a quite new one, modularity and customization. So this year's show will see a number of seating and lighting products that feature modular pieces and the option to customize, thanks to an increasing demand in having furniture that can be tailored to actually suit your lifestyle and your home. So a lot of the sofas and couches that you're going to see will be modular, and you can shape them to fit the needs of your lifestyle or the layout of your room. So handcrafted ceramics. So we are seeing a lot of rugged and handcrafted ceramics. So these vessels are a perfect example, oversized with a historical look. You can put them in a bare room as the hero piece or blend them in with other natural ornaments, and they complement other natural colours and tones really well, as you can see has been done in this room. So updated tableware. Tableware also seems to be highly influenced by the search for colour. So in 2019, we'll hold back on the white plates and take the risk of provoking emotion and giving a memory. So this was said by a chef in France who was a panelist at this year's Maison and Objet, which is held twice a year. We have one earlier in the year. So this trend follows Japanese traditions where each food is placed in dialogue with the dish it is served on, like miso soup as well. So you should be seeing a little bit of these probably more micro trends it doesn't just end with the dining table, it's also what you present on the table as well. So perfectly imperfect. So I guess the constant effort to be our best selves at any given moment, it can be really exhausting. So as a result, we're actually seeing a really renewed appreciation for the imperfect and unique at this year's show. So down-to-earth aesthetic is being incorporated into many of the homes that we're seeing on Houzz, and works best with natural, authentic materials such as timber, stone, and concrete in the form of vases, vessels, bedside tables, and feature lighting. So cultural crossovers. So obviously it's important to maintain local traditions and encourage local production, but people do still dream about distant lands. So South American woven wool, Charpoy benches from India, handcrafts from Senufo populations in West Africa, quatrefoil designs from Islamic traditions, and creased lamps inspired by Japanese origami will be valued interior pieces in 2019. So there is a strong sentiment to stay away from standardized design and instead purchase fair trade products. Minimalist sophistication. As I've mentioned, velvet has continued to make an appearance on sofas, stools and ottomans with brass pedestals. So it serves as a really vivid contrast to the imperfect and natural look that I've shown you, and that's also gathering traction. But but you can keep the space really uncluttered to achieve a minimalist design with this velvet. And if you are using bold materials like velvet, just be sure to hero it in the room with other more subtle decorative choices. And comfort. So many of us are searching for environments that calm a frazzled mind and invite moments of self-care and relaxation. So comfort is also a really big theme this year, and we'll expect to see a lot of it. Large enveloping padded cushions that fill up the space and just make it feel really warm. Ooh. So key takeaways. Houzz has 5 layers to create an integrated experience. Wellness is a big rising trend that we're seeing in interiors. The Houzz trend reports can be found on Houzz at houzz.com.au/ideabooks/research. There are going to be trend talks at Decor and Design every day of the show, and you can find more info at the link that I've just put on the screen for you there. So I definitely recommend that you check them out. Houzz is also going to have one, I think, on the Saturday. So if you're around and you're going to the show, definitely check it out. And you'll also be able to meet some of the team, of course, at their stand, which will be at K3. So that's on the screen now. You can book an appointment now with the team at the link that I've got on the screen, and I'll put that into the chat box as well for everyone. So feel free to book a link. If you're not going to the show this year, but you're still interested in our local marketing solutions, you can find out more at houzz.com.au/pro+. That will have all the information you need. You just put in your details and someone will be in touch with you. And if you have any questions at all, outside of this webinar, just email ausupport@houzz.com and they'll be able to help you out. So that is the end, but I'm going to leave it on this screen just so you can see the links that you might need should you want to book some time with our team at the show. We really hope that we'll see you there. And I'm going to stay online for another 10 minutes now, but I'm going to put myself on mute. So I won't be making any noise, but I'll just be answering questions directly. So thanks so much, everyone. I really appreciate you coming to this webinar, and I really hope that you've enjoyed your time.